Hello, let me make a little demo of the Salute public API testing scenarios we have at this current moment. So the single source of truth for our testing is Postman collections, where we accumulated all known user journeys which have been recorded from the mobile app. So when user does any type of activity in the mobile app, all API requests are collected and grouped into a couple user journeys. This is a Postman and the user journeys collection, which has a couple folders where we have how many? 11, actually 9 collection of tests. For example, this was executed while existing user reopens app. Or for example, this is a collection of tests for the guest account creation, for the named account creation, and for some actions on the homepage, your plan on deck or user profile for existing user. We also have a specific collection to convert guest account to named account and also verify some external resources just in case. So this is all possible actions we can do from the mobile app against our API. Next, we have little or limited amount of tests just to do a quick checkup. For example, we have a specific collection to do mobile application checkup without creation of new account. Everything is executed for existing account. We do not send emails for a new account or for the password reset or something. It's just a limited set of tests from the user journey. And for example, this type of tests is safe to execute against, for example, production, just because we just simulate user doing some crazy actions in a mobile app. And everything is executed as a single run from a single user. So one call pro checkup, this is just a collection to check up production version of the mobile app for some user actions on mobile app reopen, some clicking around the app, some actions on the home page, updating some items in a user plan for existing user, for some clicks in the your plan, reading some articles and providing feedback about article, and also update profile image in the user settings. So this one, limited set of user journeys, which is safe to execute, for example, against prod, just simulating normal user behavior. What we also have, one more limited amount of tests where we try to simulate some user behavior with a huge or semi-huge load. For example, this one is configured against prod to get key value, do login refresh, get user information, and get some basic information about user plan, agenda, and categories. So this collection is safe to execute against, for example, prod, and the environment is configured in the collection variables. This one is against prod. We can execute this one when we think we need to verify to verify prod with a user load. So this a quick Postman overview of everything what we have up for now. All Postman tests are executed from my local computer and for a single developer, for a single run, or for a couple of multiple runs, but testing from Postman in terms of performance testing is quite limited. For that, we have transformation procedure from our Postman collections into K6 tests. K6 tests possible to execute with a configured user load for expected amount of users and for expected time frame. For example, execute with 10 users during 10 minutes and decrease or increase amount of users or something like that. So from a Postman collection, we convert our test into K6 executables. And then we can run with a little load from a developer's computer as K6 test. This is source code of the load project. Here we have user journey, all configuration for the user journey, and the most important is environment where tests are executed. Then we have list of requests, which mimics our Postman collection, but here in a K6 format, and this one is possible to execute, for example, with some user execution plan. For example, execute for 5 seconds with one user, grow to 20 users in the 15 seconds, then hold 20 user within 15 seconds, then do some other grow, and then go down to the. So this is execution plan to attack API from the K6. K6 is good, but what else can we do? I think after successful execution of the all user journeys, it's a good idea to package our test and execute somewhere on remote environment. And for that, we can wrap our K6 tests into the Docker images and start testing where from any computer server or place where Docker is available. So for example, we have an image to execute all API requests or all user journeys for the mobile application version 1.2. Let's execute this tests from my local computer. So with a Docker with a single command, I just say that I'd like to run and destroy this image after testing is completed. So let's wait for the test to be set up and executed. So as you can see, all user journeys for the mobile app version 1.2 executed, and almost all checks are successful. Actually, it's a known issue when one of our API requests recorded here doesn't execute successfully and just fails. So this is just a known behavior. For now, we executed 212 API requests in total. So it was packaged execution of the user journeys version 1.2 of the mobile app. What we also have is a user journeys for the version 1.3 tests again TST environment. So let me just run another container with a user tests for the TST environment, but for latest version of the VG setup. Let's see how it goes. So we can see the tests are executed against TST environment. And right now we go over all user journey with a single test execution, single API execution. All user journey done with following success rate of our checks, this result probably shows that some of API call were executed longer than 3 seconds on TST environment. In general, for version 1.3, we execute 250 tests for a single user and execute it once. Okay. Now, when we have our case 6 test representing our user journey packaged into Docker image, we can create isolated images, not only for TST environment, but for production as well. I'm not going to run following demo, but this image runs Salute API tests for version 1.3, all user journeys for a single user once against production environment. The next test scenario is another one packaged image where we execute just limited amount of API tests from version 1.3 against prod, but with 10 users with 10 seconds. Everything is packaged here in this image. Now, when we have isolated packages for our testing scenarios, and we can execute everything from a developer computer or from any place where Docker is installed, what we also can do is to execute the same images from any remote environment, like, for example, Azure DevOps pipelines. So inside our Azure DevOps, we have execution pipelines to run the same images with the same configurations, but remotely. Let's open our Azure DevOps here in the load tests project in the pipelines. We have 4 described scenarios, and for example, this one runs user journeys for the mobile application version 1.2 against TST environment. Let's start this pipeline. Let's run it. See what's inside. And what it does, it pulls the same image we just run locally and execute this test from the remote environment. So here, run functional tests. We get expected version against expected environment, TST in this case, and the same execution procedure, but this time remotely from only God knows where, from someone else's computers, from a cloud. When pipeline is completed, you can check results. Here we have all checks and the final result of the version 1.2 against TST with expected success rate. Let's try to execute remotely functional tests for the version 1.3 against TST like that. Run test 1.3 TST. Run pipeline. Run. Let's go inside. We could observe that it pulls expected container with the tests for 1.3 against TST latest version. Let's wait for K6 to execute tests remotely against our TST API. When pipeline is completed, We can check results with all checks. Once again, it seems like some API didn't pass one check. Oh, here it is. GDPR API call response was longer than 3 seconds, and this check is failed. Okay. Also, in the available list of scenarios here for pipeline execution, we have 2 tests against prod. I am not going to run these prod tests right now, but this one is a version 1.3 of all user journeys against production. What we also have is a load test with just a little amount of performance tests for 10 users within 10 seconds, just to verify how fast our API for a well-known user with a limited amount of tests. Okay. It was execution 1.2, 1.3, quick test for production, and load test for production. So once again, from our Postman collection, we do runnable load tests, which then packaged as an images and then executed remotely. That's it for the testing for now. Thank you so much.